Hi everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to my latest oil painting time-lapse. As usual, you can find all of the art supplies used in today's video listed in the video description. So, I know I've been going through a bit of an experimental phase lately with trying a bunch of new art supplies, but my heart always flocks back to oils for some reason. I think oils will always be my first love and kind of my art soulmate, so it always feels like home to be able to work on an oil painting again after dabbling in other mediums. The concept for this piece was actually from an old Patreon reward drawing, and when I was looking for ideas of what to paint, I couldn't help but be inspired by the creepy skeleton hand, probably because Halloween is just around the corner. I also only used 3 colors aside from black and white to mix all the different colors for this piece. If you want to see a more thorough color mixing demo, along with a 60-minute step-by-step tutorial video and tons of other fun rewards, you can check out patreon.com/happydartist. Today, I wanted to chat about why I've been using such a limited color palette. You may have noticed that my last few oil paintings were created using only 3 colors, which is not my usual protocol. Ever since I started using oils, I've been somewhat of a color fiend. I usually started with more than 10 colors straight from the tube and then mixed God knows how many more new shades afterwards. This habit never really bothered me much and still doesn't really bother me since I think a palette that contains several super saturated and sometimes borderline neon colors fit pretty well with the fantasy surreal themes of my artwork. And also, there are certain bright colors that you have to buy out of the tube because they cannot be replicated through mixing, no matter what type of primary colors you start with. Colors such as quinacridone opera or cobalt teal, which appear frequently in my work and have almost become a staple in creating my signature aesthetic. So while I don't have any gripes with a larger palette, and I definitely know that there are certain concepts that require way more than 3 colors, I also wanted to take a break from my old habits and try out a new technique that could potentially teach me more about color theory. Now, I'll be the first to admit that while I have experience in painting, I never took any formal classes on color theory. Most of what I figured out throughout the years has been through trial and error. Over time, I just sort of developed a gut instinct in regards to what colors to put on my palette, but I never knew why certain colors look good together, or why mixing 2 particular colors generated a color that looked good. I just knew that they looked good. But now I wanted to find out why instead of just how. And even though at times I admit that I'm sort of an art supply hoarder and I just find so much joy in buying as many colors as I possibly can, the truth is many of the colors that I can buy at an art store can be reproduced fairly closely by mixing a set of 3 primary colors. Whether you start with red, yellow, blue, or cyan, yellow, magenta, you can probably replicate most shades to a close enough degree of likeness to successfully carry out your vision. Of course, with the exemption of certain super saturated or neon colors. These last few months, I've been forcing myself to manually mix the colors that I had usually just squeezed right out of the tube. I found that starting with red, yellow, and blue has been the most straightforward in mixing most of the neutral tones I need, particularly skin tones. It takes a little extra time in the beginning of the painting process to pre-mix all these colors, but overall it's helped me make my work feel a lot more cohesive. Since every single color in my painting originated from the same family of 3 colors, the entire piece just flows a lot more effortlessly. I've also learned a great deal about how to make certain colors stand out by placing them near contrasting shades, rather than only on relying on saturation to give a color more focus. For example, I didn't need to use a bright neon pink to give my character the rosy blush on her cheeks, which I wanted to be a focal point of the face. By simply using more muted green tones on the rest of her skin, the slightly more saturated pink on her cheeks stood out in contrast. This made me realize that even if you can't perfectly mimic your favorite bright color through mixing, you can still give the same illusion by being strategic about your surrounding colors. The mint green on the subject's hair might have looked a little gray and dull on the palette, but when I contrast it next to the warm skin tones or the very grassy green of the leaves on the rose, it makes the hair's green look so minty and stands out as something completely different from what you see on the rest of the piece. Even though on the palette, I was actually a little worried that I was never going to be able to replicate my favorite mint green color using just red, yellow, and blue to start with. The way that colors look on your palette doesn't necessarily stay stagnant when you put the exact same colors on your actual painting. Because I've learned that a painting is more heavily influenced by the relationship between the colors on the palette rather than the actual colors themselves. I also realized that starting with fewer colors on my palette actually makes the painting process a lot easier because there are less decisions for me to make and overall less things to keep track of. Instead of worrying about the relationship between 10 different starting colors and debating over which of the 10 choices to incorporate into my current color mixture, I just have 3 to worry about. I know exactly how each of the 3 colors will affect my current mixture, and fine-tuning the hues on my painting has become so much more straightforward. On top of all the lessons I've learned about color theory and color mixing, I think perhaps the most valuable takeaway from this is how little oil paint I actually need to carry out all the visions and concepts for my paintings. I know that oil paint is one of the more expensive mediums, and it's been such an eye-opening experience for me to be able to paint such a wide range of concepts and be able to comfortably fill my palette with all the colors I need, all from starting with just 3 colors, plus black and white. And this whole experience has taught me that as long as you have a little bit of extra patience, a little really does go a long way. All right, that about sums up my video for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Also, if you like this painting and want to adopt her, I have the framed original and prints both listed for sale in my shop. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off of everything using the code ENDOFSUMMER at happyd-artist.com. Today's video is brought to you by Skillshare, an online learning community for creators with over 25,000 classes in drawing, painting, design, and more. Their premium membership gives you unlimited access to high-quality courses from experts working in their fields, so you can improve your skills, unlock new opportunities, and do the work you love. Whether you want to fuel your curiosity, creativity, or even career, Skillshare is the perfect place to keep you learning and thriving in 2019. Here are 2 classes that I think are great for beginner artists. The first is a fun and colorful class teaching the basics of how to paint with gouache. And this one focuses on how to create beautiful digital illustrations using the iPad Procreate app. Skillshare is also super affordable as their annual subscription is less than $10 a month. Join more than 7 million creators learning with Skillshare. For a 2-month free trial of Skillshare Premium, just check out the link in my video description. Also, if you want to check out more artworks, works in progress, and just random daily artist adventures, feel free to check out my Instagram, and you can follow me at the handle @happydartist. And if you're interested in learning more about how to paint and draw, I have lots of art educational content on my Patreon page, including exclusive video tutorials, step-by-step photo tutorials, live streams, podcasts, and so much more, all available at patreon.com/happydartist. I'd love to have you join my Patreon family. See you in the next one. Bye!